You got the Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit my music.
Oops.
Fuck you, PrizePicks! Fuck you, PrizePicks!
But I'm had enough.
Fuck you, PrizePicks! All the scam, man, I hate enough! Fuck you, PrizePicks! My whole clique about to fuck you up! Fuck you, PrizePicks! Population, we are not the same! Fuck you, PrizePicks! They get to win and take everything! Logging in, make my picks, I'm about to get this red. It makes me harder than Candace Parker giving me head. Rage bed, if I don't win, then I'ma come pick you up. Carpool into the bridge, if we a fam, then we all jump. Becky got the hoe, she rolls her knees or ends up dead. Whatever it takes, I'm trying to make this money with my friends. WNBA season, so much free you won't believe. Join in Discord, you can pay a top support and more. At least I'm kidding, we really winning the ghost of the industry. Johnny and Clyde, they don't want the smoke, we taking all their money, ain't no selling now. Population, we are not the same, we do this every day now. Everybody say, fuck you, PrizePicks. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Fuck you, PrizePicks.
But I'm had enough.
Fuck you, PrizePicks. You can keep your rotten taco. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Bob and Johnny, that's tomato. Fuck you, PrizePicks. And if you really want to win, fuck you, PrizePicks. Come and rock with population.
Fuck you, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
And here we go.
Yeah, that's what your bank account's been saying. Welcome to the Balking Dead. It's Friday, and if you don't know, you should know, or you've been under a damn bridge. You are now tuning in to two guys hitting in over 70%. Really, it's been over the last month and a half for both of us, but it's been a goddamn heater for both of us in September, and we ain't slowing down. Spin Doc, my guy, how you been? And I know you're ready.
I'm doing good, man. It's been quite a run. You mentioned it, 70%. I think in the last month and a half, up close to 20 units. It's been bad days for my bookie, but great days for us. So let's keep that rolling. Hey, I've always been of the belief that when you get on a run like this, man, you ride it till the wheels fall off, and you make it hurt. Because when you're not, they make it hurt for you. So let's make it hurt.
Yeah, I have definitely told everybody on this show, and definitely the part of Team Sharpie, my unit size, or what it would be, is like times 4 or 5 of that right now. Like, yeah. I'm winning, and there's 10 days left. I'm not going to fucking bet more games. No, I'm going to bet more when my spots are here. And we got a couple spots. So let's talk about it, guys. This show is sponsored by W, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by going to W.com, you will get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Pub Sports. If you haven't already, do me a favor and smash that like button and make sure you do have them notification bells on. I will read out everyone's best bet in the chat as long as you hashtag We Be Pubbin in it, as well as if you have a question about any other pitcher we're not talking about, please hashtag We Be Pubbin so we know which comments to scroll through. On this show, we will talk the first line open up on a K-prop, also the best line available 30 minutes prior to the show, and then we will see where the value lies between the books and PrizePicks. Of course, this show is also sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PubSports and get a match deposit on your first deposit, up to 100, minimum of 25. First guy on the board is Tyler Glasnow versus the Blue Jays, striking people out this year 33% of the time while walking people with an elite 7% clip. Morning line was 7.5 at plus 104 on FanDuel, where the best line available. I guess I didn't write that one in, so I'm a jackass, but it's still 7.5. And that's where it's at on PrizePicks, whereas hits allowed are under over 4.5. Let's talk Glasnow.
All right. So Mr. Glasnow, you look at this one, especially at home, and to me, this line looks like it's set reasonably correct. He has about a 50%. It's basically 50-50 from a hit rate perspective, which is something that that the books obviously give out a lot of times for lines that they want you to be on. This one, it's pretty much 50-50, so not much to do there, not much to see there. You look at the Blue Jays swing metrics, and they are very elite the last 30 days in not chasing. In fact, best in the bigs at 24.8. Why that's important is because Glasnow does need to get people to chase in order to get Ks. And they are not chasing. Not only are they not chasing, but league average is 56.6% for chase contact. Blue Jays are at 60.3. They have a few guys at the top of their lineup that are actually even higher than that. The other thing that the Blue Jays have done a really good job at as they make this playoff push is not getting called strikes either. The top 5 in baseball at 26% for CSW, called strikes plus whiffs, which is a healthy 1.4% under league average. That said, you have seen some absolutely dominating performances recently by Glasnow. However, it's the teams that strike out against righties a lot. You have the Twins, you have the Red Sox, you have a few others in there. And the Blue Jays in and of themselves are not a team that strikes out against righties very much. Only 20.8% in the last 30 days in 718 plate appearances. So this to me has factors on both sides. I think you could make a case either way for this one. It's juice just like that. To me, this is probably one where with so many other spots on the board, I just don't know if I want to mess with it.
Yeah, we start my write-ups with Tyler Glasnow versus the Jays for the first time this year. So when we go check out the Jays numbers over the last 15 days, they're straight middle of the pack in literally every category I look at, whether it's walk percentage, strikeout percentage, isolated power. They've been just middle of the fucking pack. And this is the same division, so let's just go check out the past history in this projected lineup. And you will hear me and Spin Doc talk about lineup construction as well as what's in the lineup. And this is a perfect example of lineup construction, as there's 5 guys in this lineup who've seen Glasnow a decent amount of times. And in the first 3 projected batters in Springer, Bichette, and Guerrero, they just don't strike out much to Glasnow. In 33 at-bats combined, they've only struck out 7 times. Yet the guys they have projected in the 5 and 6 hole have struck out 50% of their 14 bats. So how many times is he going to see that? The middle, probably just as much as he would see the top. But the fact that the 2 people at the top that don't strike out often to him are hitting at worst 400 off of him in decent sample size says that they're going to get to him if at least not once, twice. And do they send his ass back out there again? And I don't know. And I don't want to fuck around to find out realistically, guys, as it can be under over right here. And I just don't want it. As like my guy said next to me, there's other spots where it will scream to me under. It'll scream to me over. And I don't need the press at the end of the day. The top 3 will be tough. But then there is action at that back end of the lineup. And I don't know what they're going to do. Right now they don't have Whit Merrifield in the projected lineup, and that guy hits 400 off of them in 7 plate appearances with only 2 strikeouts. So why not sit down Biggio, who struck down fucking almost every time he's seen him, and put an old Whit, And this is once again me yelling at these guys who project lineups as they are ass, but the lineup is out on this one, ain't it? No. Yes? How'd that lineup come out? Let me check. I want to make sure. Because how do they not put Whit into this fucking lineup? That was my what are they doing? And I don't have a legit lineup out for them yet. So, no. As of now, I don't see it. But I just don't see them batting Biggio today. But they have him in there. And we shall see. If they put Whit in there, I might look actually for the earned runs over 1.5 on him. As in, I'll go through the guys hitting 1 by 1 in the lineup. But you could take Whit Merrifield, you could take Vladdy and Springer if they're not hitting, and you could put a green dot through their hitting because they have great numbers versus him in the past history. So, easy stay off for the K prop until the lineup comes out. If anything, I'll look to take his earned runs over 1.5 today. Anything else?
No, it's just that, the point that we both made is that you have every major league team playing today. So, you have all the action from all sides, all props of that. You have college football tonight. You have college football heading in tomorrow. Why waste your time on what essentially amounts to a 50-50 coin flip? There's so many other good spots here.
Yep. And let's head into another good spot that I know a lot of people in the world are betting, and the books know that too. So we have a theme of the day today. It's a Crisscross song. If you don't know that little rap group from back in the day, it was Chris Cross make it jump. And the books are making people jump today. And if you want some Andrew Abbott versus the Pirates, you got to fucking pay up, guys, as he is striking people out 26% of the time and 10% of the time walking people. Open him up 6.5 even money on DraftKings to now he is plus 115 on DraftKings to that 6.5. PrizePicks has him at a 6, and I like the 6 on PrizePicks a lot better than going up to 6.5. But I don't hate if you did, and we'll get into it, guys, as they do not have his hits, earn runs, and outs available on PrizePicks. Projected lineup is no longer projected. We have 8 righties, 1 lefty. Let's talk Andrew. No, do we have that lineup out? No, it's not. I'm a jackass. That was sales lineup. So projected lineup.
No, it's not out yet.
8 righties, 1 lefty for projected.
No, it's not out yet.
Let's talk Abbott.
I mean, yeah. The key to the Pirates is always the same. Can you throw early strikes? Because they continue, despite all of their, offensive shortcomings elsewhere, they continue to not chase. 29% league average over the last 30 days for chase rate. They're at 26.4. They don't make contact when they do, but they do stay away from chasing. They also make contact on pitches that are in the zone. So they're at 87% compared to a league average of 85. So if they're not going to chase, which Abbott spends about league average time in the zone versus outside of it. His chase contact is what sets him apart in that he only has 54.7 versus a league average of 58. In some of his higher strikeout outings, it's been even worse than that. So, really what I look at here is that, what is Abbott going to do? Especially when he's only in the zone about the same amount of time as everybody else. What is he going to do to make these guys chase that people like Garrett Cole, that people like Corbin Burns, that people like these other guys haven't done yet? And if you're not going to do that, and you don't have an umpire that's going to give you the benefit of the doubt, which I look behind the plate and I see Bruce Dreckman, who is one of the most neutral umps you can ask for. Literally his K average and the percentage of up or down that his K is going games he's behind the plate is literally right at average. It's 0. He is the most league average umpire you can want. So is Abbott going to make these guys chase? And I don't necessarily I don't, looking at his numbers the last few starts too, I don't know what makes him so much more special than those other guys I mentioned. So my lean is on the under here.
Yeah, I'm going to get into a little Abbott skis, and let's talk about it. I was just looking at the Orioles lineup that just came out. It's always nice to get a lineup. And yeah, this is part 2 with Andrew Abbott this year, guys. We're back on August 11th. He went 6.2 innings, struck out 9. And when you look at the lineup's numbers at that time, they were hitting a putrid 0.7 isolated power, but yet that lineup was only striking out 23% of the time. Now, when we look at the Pirates numbers, they're still not hitting one of the league low isolated powers, but now they're striking out near 28% of their at-bats. And I know as of late, guys, I've made some good money on Abbott's under, but as of here, looking at just straight lineups, I've got to look over right now. And the problem is, guys, the books also know that as well. And they're going to put him at a 6.5. And he hasn't had more than 6.5 strikeouts in, I believe, 2 of his last 10 games. And they get it. And my problem with him is, do you think Andrew Abbott's worth betting on? Is he worth your money? And my thing is, he's hit a wall. And in his first freaking 10 games, he went 8 of 10. He went 6 innings or more, with only doing that 1 of his last 6 games, guys. Like, I don't know if I want to bet on a guy who, even in good spots, didn't hit. And that was versus the Angels, who were striking out. But granted, they were hitting at the time, and they got to him. He didn't go more than 4 innings. Then he ran into a Giants team who was also striking out a fuck ton, but they also were hitting in that lineup, and they got to him, but yet he still hit 6 that day. So the books know he can hit 6 while getting his ass kicked, but the 7's going to be, he needs to go 5, maybe 6 fucking innings. And can you bet this guy to go 5, 6 innings? That's the question you need to answer. And I answered it by reading it off to you. I've been fucking betting his unders because he's hit a wall. I cannot chase a guy that they jumped up and I just can't. I have my rules. Yes, I've broken them at times, and I will break it again today. As in, I think you should jump these things up 2-3 strikeouts, and you just can't jump them up enough. But this one right here, I get what they're doing, but this kid hasn't shown me anything to go put my money behind him. So Andrew Abbott could suck my nuts. I love how PrizePicks has a 6, so you can push on the 6, as I think that's where at worst he ends. But at the end of the day, I'm not betting him, but if I was, I would take him at 6 on PrizePicks.
Yeah,
unless they load up lefties. They want to fuck around and find out with some lefties, bro. Like, all right.
Yeah, I just keep asking myself, like, if you're, let's just say you want to take the over for this one. I don't really want to pay juice on an under here, but let's just say you want to take the over on this one. You go and you look at some of the chase rates that guys that have elite chase stuff, again, like Garrett Cole, like Corbin Burns, like Freddie Peralta, so on and so forth. And it's demonstrably lower against this team. So tell me again how Andrew Abbott, who is only in the 27th percentile for chase rating, is going to get this by them or make them chase. And also tell me how Andrew Abbott, who doesn't have a high velo fastball and only has a 45th percentile whiff rating, if he does throw it in the zone, is going to strike out a team that is in the top 5 in inside the zone contact. The numbers just don't add up. It makes me feel like they're trying to steer you to a number. I'll just go again. There's so many better spots on this card than trying to do a coin flip here. There's just so many better spots.
Yes, sir. Do me a favor, if you haven't, 60 live, only 30 likes, smash the like button, as I don't ask for much. I give you my bets, which happen to be a whole lot of winning bets, and I ask for a like button to be hit. Let's talk number 64 in the black book, Christopher Allen Sale Day versus his old team, the White Sox. Striking people out 30% of the time while walking people 7% on the year. Open them up 7.5 even money on DraftKings to the best line available is now -112 on FanDuel. PrizePicks has them at a 7, whereas pitching outs under over are at a 16.5 on PrizePicks. Lineups out, 9 righties, 0 lefties. Let's talk Sale Day.
All right, this is one where you have to deconstruct the line. So you run them, like I run all my math, and it says 5.62 strikeouts. That's exact. I'm looking at it right now. That's exactly what my raw math said. Well, you would think about it at -135, which is what it was this morning, that wow, you should take that. That's easy money, right? Okay, let's go on the other side. Number one is you have Sale, who has an innings prop of 5.5 innings, which is 14.4% than his high or his average for the year, and actually would be one of his longest outings in recent memory. Now, even with that, this is why you deconstruct the line. I've said over and over on this show that the standard props for pitchers pitching 5 innings or more are 2.5 earned runs, 5.5 hits, 5 sometimes if it's a stud, and 1.5 to 2 walks. Sales today are 2 earned runs, so lower, 4.5 hits, lower, 1 walk, lower, especially for him. And that's despite being projected to pitch 15% more than he has for the year. So that's Sale. Now you go over to the White Sox, and you see they have a 26% K percentage against lefties in the last 30. They have a 33% K percentage lifetime against Sale. And they have a 35, and Sale has a 35% strikeout percentage at home against righties, of which will be the White Sox entire lineup. I think it should be no surprise where I'm looking for this game. And the math says this is going to be an easy under. The hit rate and the stuff that the public cappers use say it's going to be an easy under. So you know where we're going. Up and away. Up and away. And we are fading the shit out of all of that stuff. Because when it looks too good to be true, it is. And when you have a guy who has not had very much longevity in his starts, who has not been able to keep guys off the base paths in multiple starts, and all of a sudden you get him at home and you get him with these lines, despite the fact he's going to have his longest outing of the season, but you know what? He's going to give up less earned runs, less hits, and less walks than he has at any other time he's lying during the year. What? That means he's going to fucking dominate. Sharpie, go ahead.
Man, it's crazier to hear someone get more excited about Chris Sale than I get, but yeah.
Once you reverse engineer it, the answer is very obvious.
Yeah, see, you did it reverse engineer. I did it with the lineups, and my lineups and my work says the same motherfucking thing, guys. So we got Christopher Allen Sale Day with a little bit of revenge built into it, and that sounds like types within the show. And for those who are new to betting on Sale, guys, he was that fucking dude on the White Sox. And that's where the Red Sox paid him all that money. And God, if he could just stay healthy, he'd still be one of the elite. But when he is on the upper echelon. Now we get the Sox guy. He gets a matchup with the White Sox for the first time this year. And we look at their numbers over the last 2 plate appearances versus lefties. I get why the books put him at a 7.5. As the White Sox are not walking, they're middle of the pack in isolated power while striking out 26% of their at-bats. And if we want the 7.5, it would be considering chasing in my book, guys. He's only hit the over 30% of his last 10. And I know, guys, the first 5 months of the show, I was like, I ain't chasing for no one. Yet over the last 2 weeks, I've said, fuck you, and we're going to give you a few of those times, and we've hit every fucking one of them, as you just can't jump a guy up enough, in my opinion, in certain situations. And I understand everything that they did. And I just needed the lineup, guys, at the end of the day, and this lineup came out before it came out. And so forth, we've got 6 of the 9 guys in this lineup over the last 200 plate appearances of these White Sox, striking out 33% of their at-bats. That's just to every fucking lefty they've seen. This is fucking Christopher Allen Sale, let alone the 33% career history he has striking this fucking team out and the 5 people who've seen him. And if you've watched me talk about Chris Sale, you've heard me talk about, you've wanted to at least see him. We've got 4 guys in this lineup who's never fucking seen this man. You don't want to do that, guys. He's an elite strikeout pitcher with the most awkward release point in the history of baseball. He releases the ball at the third base dugout. It's just something that you're not trained. You cannot set yourself up for. You need multiple looks at this man. And in Tim Anderson's multiple books, he's struck out 40% of his 10 at-bats. Moncada struck out damn near 50% of his 7 at-bats. Jimenez, who's not striking out, struck out 2 of the 3 times he's seen him. And God forbid, guys, the whole bottom half hasn't seen this man, and they're striking out 33% or more. This is fucking ladder spot city, but I don't fucking ladder. I fucking hammer. So I've got a full unit on the 7.5. I got it at plus 110. It moved actually right after I bet it. I guess the books are starting to respect me a little bit, but it only went to minus 115 on my book. So at the end of the day, I'm on him. I don't fucking care they added it. I don't think you could have added enough to what I believe he does today. Yeah.
And if you're on Bovada, you can still get it for even money at 7.5. It's going fast though. It's going quick.
See, that's where I got it at, was plus 110, and then they shot the where I was at minus 150. But I was all the way at the bottom.
Yep.
So you got to search like 4 different spots on those books, because they'll give you different lines every which way you look.
Yep.
Now we get into a spot. The lineup came out. You got anything extra else you wanted to add on?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Christopher Sale, obviously over, if you didn't hear it. And the lineup is out for Baltimore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lefties, 3 righties when they projected 7 and 2. Bieber versus the Orioles, guys. He's back. Striking people out this year 19.5% of the time. Well, walking people 6.5%. God, that 19.5, I don't want to say is all bad as Bieber wasn't Bieber for like the first 8 to 10 weeks. But then Bieber came back around to being Bieber, and at least with cash when he faced a team who whiffed. And that's all that I cared about, because back then, before Bieber went on the IL, I didn't cross over to the dark side, guys. So I'll cross over to dark sides now. Morning line was 4.5 at plus 125 on Caesars. You can still get plus 130 at Caesars to that 4.5. Where PrizePicks is not available on his strikeouts, which means what? He got fucking hammered. He got slopped. They put that shit at a fucking at a fucking 5 or a and they got schmackled, mackety mac, and he ain't getting more than 5. I'll tell you that. If he gets 5, he gets 5. He ain't getting more than 5. And his hits allowed under over were 4.5 on PrizePicks. That's how I know they did offer his K prop. It's because they have his hits allowed, guys, which means they got smacked. And you got to pay attention to that sometimes. Sometimes people know something. Let's talk the Biebs.
All right. So I talked about reverse engineering a line, and you do it the same way here. So you look at Bieber and you see how often, in fact, it's his average, he goes 6 innings or more, 6 or 6 plus. And then you look today and you see that at open, this was at open, he is, he was projected and still is for 14.5 outs, which translates to less than 5 innings. Now you go and you look and you say, okay, that's basically a strikeout in inning. Is it possible that he can get this? It's possible, sure. But when you look at the numbers, they're just kind of anemic. 23.2% strikeout percentage for the Orioles last 30 days. And I think you already mentioned it, Sharpie, but against lefties, just K percentage numbers, absolutely. Orioles swing metrics, very average across the board. No concerns there. So for me, I think that if you think that Bieber will exceed this innings prop or will throw more than 5 innings, my recommendation would be to stay off. If you, because I think that then there's a chance he might get it. If you think that this is the right innings prop, there's only one way you can go. This is a number that he has hit under 46% or under 50% for the year. This is definitely one that they're just begging you for overaction. They're begging you for overaction. When that happens, if you're going to play it, you know what to do.
Yeah, man. And
I
get what he does. I get why it's at 14.5, and I think he goes 5 innings exactly today. You know, I get that. Yeah, but I don't think he gets 5 fucking strikeouts, especially now that I've got the lineup out. And I did have a half unit bet in, and I'm looking to make it full. I just didn't want to go a full unit on the under 4.5 at and get Bill Miller behind the plate. And they've announced the ump. It's a fucking neutral ump, and I'm okay with that. Neutral means I can still bet you under. So I will be moving him to a full unit bet after this show. I'm going to go bet it. I did get minus 130. I know it ain't going to be minus 130 no more. Matter of fact, I'm going to get it in while we're on this show, while we're talking a little bit, because Bieber is already pulled up. Where you at, you cuck McGuck? Where's your strikeouts? Strikeouts. It's minus 145. Has it moved? Come on. It won't let me in. Let me in.
DraftKings has it at 130, minus 130.
Okay, I'll do it on the next one. It's because I got to log. Oh, I'm logged in now. Okay, but I'll talk before I freaking annoy you guys over here, guys. Shane Bieber's coming off the IL to face the Orioles team that he faced back on May 31st, where he went 4 innings, gave up 7 earned runs and had only 4 strikeouts. And we have had some love-hate with Bieber, guys, this year, as he just wasn't the same dude for the first half of the season, then started to do what he should do, and that's cash tickets versus teams who whiff. As that's been the key for Bieber for me going back for a few years, guys. And he's been on the IL now for a few months and haven't been able to bet unders on him yet because my love-hate relationship with him happened to be before he went on the IL that I started betting unders, because that didn't come till August. So we have crossed to the dark side, guys, and I have no problem betting a guy under if I see a clear way to the fucking bank. And that's what I see here, guys. Even if the fucking dude goes 5 innings, I don't see 5 strikeouts, and I'm willing to still pay the juice that they have on that 4.5. We have a guy making his second rehab start in the big leagues, guys, because the Guardians needed someone, and it's Bieber's turn. it's Bieber's turn. The last time he pitched in a rehab game 5 days ago, he went 3.2 innings, only threw 64 pitches. So at most, he's going 5 innings, 75 pitches today, guys. I'm okay with that. This would have been a 4.5 if he was going 7 innings today, guys, with his normal outs prop. He would not have been a 5.5 versus fucking Baltimore. Nah. We're getting a regular K prop number versus a team that doesn't fucking whiff, and you've got 75 pitches to cook me. Nah, bro. You got to fucking cook me, bro. At the end of the day, I was afraid of a Bill Miller, why I only went to a half unit. I don't got that cuck or anybody related to him in that time frame. So, yeah, get in where you fit in, guys, as we now have 2 fucking bets. We have Chris Sale over, and then we have this cuck McGuck under.
Yeah.
Anything else extra?
Nope. Only if you are a Guardians fan or you are a Shane Bieber fan.
I love Shane Bieber.
No. I'm just saying that a lot of talk that this is his last start in Cleveland ever.
I mean, I love Shane Bieber, so don't think because I'm taking a guy's K-prop and talking shit, I hate him. No, I just see a clear-cut way that even if he went 7 innings versus this team, I think 5 would be tough.
Remember, guys can have a quality start and not hit a K-prop. Happens every night.
Every night, bro. We can hit a K-prop while getting sodomized in front of national television, bro. Like, it happens. It does not correlate with how the game's going to go.
Nope.
And that's why I like trying to get in on these outs props instead of K props, even though I took Fried's outs last night, which was a bit of a sweat compared to his K prop. But, yep, is what it is. I try to make one bet in the game, and I try to lock in on which will hit first. And, yeah, I want Bieber's under, and I want it now. Again, double up. Not double up. I only put a half unit on it. Oh, and it actually came, no. It came down.
It did a little bit.
Fucking thank you.
Yep.
I'm not afraid of that. Thank you. It's now minus 132 over here. So it came up to a minus 145 on this book. So I like. All right. Now I don't have to pay that much juice for an under I love. All right. Let's get into the next guy. Number 13 in the black book. Framber Valdez at the Royals. Striking people out 24% of the time while walking people 6.5. Opened them up 6.5 plus 120 on DraftKings to where 30 minutes prior to the show, the 5.5 popped up on FanDuel at a minus 158 for no bullshit about 10 minutes and then went straight back to a 6.5. So, yeah, 6 on PrizePicks, whereas hits, earn runs, and outs are not available on PrizePicks, which we got on him.
All right. So I look at Framber for this one and I see, man, 6.5 is probably the right line for him at home. His innings prop is right about average. His overall hit rate to the 6.5 number is not very good, though, only 23.1%, which would indicate to me that with the reasonable juice, they might be trying to get you on an under. But honestly, I think that this one is probably one where they're not really trying to lean on you one way or the other. You do have the Royals with a decent 23.3% K percentage against lefties. They also do have Framber also has a 32.2% K percentage at home against guys batting from the left-handed side of the plate. Royals are projected to run 3, including Melendez, who has a lot of swing and miss potential. Same thing with Nick Prado, who also has a lot of swing and miss potential. So if these if the 3 lefties that are being projected right now are in the lineup, that being Melendez, Massey, and Prado, this is one that I'm just going to totally straight pass on, because each of those 3 guys against Framber, to me, has multiple K potential, which then that would mean you look at the rest of the bottom of the lineup, and this one to me strikes as being a sweat no matter which way you bet it. So I'm just off.
Well, you know how me and you make our lotto tickets every day and we throw like 10 things on there and we fucking put 10, 20 bucks and see how it goes? I think this is screaming under, and let's talk about it. We have a back-to-back, guys, with Framber Valdez at the Royals. After last week, he went 7 innings, 0 earned runs with 5 strikeouts. And we know we have 2 rules when betting a back-to-back. One of them being, if they had an average day or below average when it comes to strikeouts, we can look over, and vice versa the other way, unless they prove us otherwise. The second rule is they don't fuck with back-to-back numbers, guys. And when they do, we need to listen, and that's what we have here. A K-prop, which was 5.5 last week, is now a 6.5 this week, guys. And I hear you if he's going home road. Yuri Perez went home road. I mean, they've done this with Max Scherzer, guys. They were guys that were in this spot. They fucked with, and they didn't come close that day, guys. So at the end of the day, I cannot look over when a book fucks with a back-to-back K-prop line. They don't do that, guys. Over the last 30 days on everybody I bet, they've only fucked with 2 people. I just told you those 2 people, and they didn't come close that day. They jumped him up, guys, for what reason? He didn't have it last week, so they're telling you, he's going to do it this week. I can't get there with my money on that. Now, one thing I did learn by looking at how Valdez does on back-to-backs is he's still going to have a quality start. He's still going to go 6 innings, guys. He's had 2 back-to-backs since last year. 1 versus the Rangers last year, 1 versus the A's this year. He dominated the Rangers, having 8 strikeouts the first time, going 8 innings, and then followed it back up with 6.2 innings and punched him out 11. So if we ever do want to run a K-prop when he murders somebody the first time, he showed we can go do it again. But at the end of the day, you've seen the A's this year. I cashed his K-prop on the very last batter of a 9-inning game. I got lucky. I'll fucking take it, guys. Yep. At the end of the day, I got fucking lucky. He pitched a great game, was pitching the contact, and that's exactly what they're telling me is going to happen here, guys. This team is going to see him now for the second time, and Framber's going to get a lot of ground balls. We know where Framber's at, guys. He's at fucking home. Do you really want to fuck around and find out and bet an over on a prop that the books just jumped up when I told you they don't do that? I don't. So I will be looking to take like the Royals team total under, or maybe his outs over. I will not fuck around with his K-prop today. 1 fucking iota. Nah, I can't. You got anything else?
No, just that for the season, Framber does have a 54.3% ground ball percentage. And you know how the Astros roll when they are at home with their suddenly dampened infield to elicit ground balls and blah, blah, blah. You know the rest.
Yeah, man, we can't hate. We got to take advantage
of
the
rest
of the things that we figured out. And the Phillies actually soak it more than them.
Yeah.
Take that. What do you think, Nola, bro? Nola.
Oh, yeah.
Fucker's really good at home. Ground ball pitcher. Put Max Fried. That's where I couldn't fade Max Fried versus the Phillies. When I seen Max Fried led the league over the last 5 years in ground balls.
Yep.
It's like he's gonna go deep and he's gonna be out there. Oh no. So yeah, you take advantage of the spots you've learned to take advantage of. And this is a spot that it's a little weird on what the fucking lines are doing or what the books are doing. And when I've seen the book do this, and I mean, only one book have the 7.5 and the rest have the 8.5. How often does it land on 8? More than I've seen. And it's Pablo Lopez versus the Angels, striking people out 29% of the time, while walking people 6% of the time. Open them up 9+ plus 120 on DraftKings, where the morning line is 7.5 on FanDuel at -146, and that still is the best line available, where every other book out there has plus money on the 8.5. PrizePicks has them at an 8, whereas earn runs under over are a 1.5. The projected lineup is 6 righties, 3 lefties. Let's talk about your home team.
All right. So first of all, this could be a banner night for the Twins. A win clinches them the AL Central. They actually could have won it last night, but Detroit and Cleveland both didn't lose. So this game tonight is for the AL Central to just get it over and done with. And so I think that look, at this point in the season, we know the Angels, they're essentially a broken team. They're probably on the verge of a major blow up, major rebuild. And when you look at any K-prop, you look at there's 3 options. There's pass, there's over, and there's under. There are not 3 options on this one. There is pass, and there is the over. There is in no world can you look at taking an under, much less a hella juiced under this high against the Angels at this point in the season. They whiff too much. This game to me just screams stay away. It's the same logic that I gave when Max Scherzer was an 8.5 at home against the Twins. Now he was on a back-to-back, so it was a little different. I actually cashed his under prop that night because with these 8.5 and above lines, I'll say it again, so much has to go right and virtually nothing can go wrong for a pitcher to get 9 strikeouts. I don't care what whiff level the team that they're playing against is at. These are still major league hitters. And Pablo tonight, he's projected to be right about at average, right about 25 batters. He's only got 25 batters to strike out 9 guys. So when you think about how much has to go right, that said, the Angels swing metrics, I'm not even going to get into them. They are absolutely horrific. They're one of the worst whiffing most undisciplined teams in the major leagues. It's not going to get better. This is one that strikes me as no matter what side you're on, you're going to be sweating it. I'll go back to the narrative from earlier today. Better spots, much better spots to get your money in.
Now we're going to end our day talking us a little bit of freaking Pablo Lopez. So who wears short shorts? Pablo Lopez wears short shorts. And if you haven't hit that like button, do us a favor, smash the like. And if you want us to talk about any other pitcher we ain't covering today, hashtag we be pubbing in your comment, as well as hashtag we be pubbing in your best bet, so we know which comments to humdulillah through. Like I said to start the day, guys, it's been the crisscross theme of the day, bro. It's jump. That's what crisscross is going to make you do, and that's what these books are going to make you do. If we went in on Pablo today, they put him at a number that he's only hit 1 time in his last 10 games and 5 of his 30 games combined. The good news is, one of those 5 games he hit it was versus these Angels back in May, where Lopez went 6 innings and had 9 punch-outs, where the lineup was only striking out 23% of the time, and they were actually hitting the ball with a decent isolated power of 175. Where they're now the worst team in the league when it comes to striking out. They're not walking with the same type of isolated power, 180. So I get it, guys. The books have to jump him up on this one, as no one's looking to bet his under, as they need to give them a chance at winning as well. The question is, do I want to chase this big of a number? As like he said, and I did my own write-up, if anything goes wrong with 9, it's going to be fucking tough. As the answer will come, guys, in the lineups for me in this, guys, is Fletcher's been back in at times. We've got that kid Chanel who's in there sometimes. We've got this lineup at times can actually have guys in there that do not whiff and chase. And I need the lineups if I'm going to chase a big number. And I wasn't even planning on chasing this number, guys. At the end of the day, I'm looking at pulling them down to win, as I didn't know it was clinch season, as my boy just said, and I was already looking at him to pull him down and win, as they've got a guy making his first ever start for the Angels today in the major leagues. Nah, man. This is a straight Twins smash spot. Twins minus 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 type deal, guys. And then you fade the Twins tomorrow after they go out and get fucking drunk. Because, you get drunk after you clinch the division, guys. So let's keep rolling. Let's stay hot. Let's listen to what the books are fucking saying. And it's either over or pass. I'm going to need the lineups, and either I'm going to go just straight 7 and win, or just Pablo Lopez to record the win today, as I expect him to go out there and shove. And so do the books. I just don't know if I want to be on that 9.
Yep. I saw the comment from Tell Me You Didn't Just Say That, under on outs 18.5 to the Twins push him past 6 innings. If the game is close, they will to clinch the division. If the game is in hand, they will pull them immediately, and you'll start seeing a lot of starters out. Rocco's already talked about that. And to Sharpie's point, if they win the division tonight, chances are pretty good that you will see like a poverty lineup. Like we're
talking
like
you don't
double,
even gotta wait for lineups tomorrow, bro.
Like
you
double
bet,
A lineups
you bet
tomorrow.
Whoever the fuck it is, K prop, even if it's a bum, take them over.
Yep. Absolutely. We're not going
He's
to
gonna
have
have the game of his life.
we're not going to have a single major leaguer in the lineup if we win the division tonight. I can almost promise you that.
Yeah, that's baseball, bro. You've worked your ass off.
Correa won't be in.
2-game
Buxton,
season.
Polanco, Julian. I mean, Kepler. Go down the or. Ain't none of those guys going to be in if we win the division tonight. They are literally shoving right here and saying, "This is where we win it. This is where we clinch." And then, to your point, Sharpie, we're going to go back in the clubhouse and we're going to get crunk.
And ain't nothing better for when you did trade maybe the best hitter since Tony Gwynn for Pablo Lopez to at least have him close out your
He's the one that does
ticket.
it. And
he's going to be the one that gets you into the playoffs. So
and he'll be
it's
our
kind of
game
like
one
a
starter,
story,
too.
bro. It's a story written out, bro, and it's written for Pablo to go out there and win this game. So
Yeah.
I'll be on Pablo.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say he's going to be our number one starter in the playoffs too. It's going to be him, Joe Ryan, and Sonny Gray, probably in that order, or probably him, Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan in that order.
As we run through a couple of these best bets, we will hit a couple questions as well. Justin McAvoy, I don't know how many he's on. I believe it's 8 straight best bets. But Trey Turner over 1.5 bases for that guy, while Rocco Rogers is jumping on the Seager train over 1.5 minus 125. I don't know if he's had it in 3 or 4 or 5 games. Maybe he got it last game, but fucker took a lot of money from me. What's good? Yeah, fucking pissed me off, bro. I chased my money the next day, and said, all right, dude, we're done giving anything back on hitting props. So, hey, appreciate you, JT, for the retweet and giving people shit for the 10 likes. As my boy Nasty Nate likes to say, if you haven't hit the like button, you probably got a small meat. Yeah. Looking for the Weeby Pubbins as, man, there's all types of questions.
I saw a question. What about Charlie Morton, K-Prop? Tough for me to take an over at the Nationals, especially for somebody who can be as wild as Morton can be. But the number is set purposely low, so it's probably I crossed it off pretty quick.
I didn't even break them down because it was an easy cross off. It's inside the division, and I'm cool. I just don't want to fuck with Charlie Mimo in the division at this late in the year. They've got I'm good. Better spots for me, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yep, better spots.
Appreciate you guys all for tuning in, guys. It's our Friday, which means I'll see you Monday. And if you tune in tomorrow, I'll be on the UFC stream the whole damn time because a couple of our boys will be out, as well as I will be on mine and Big Show's show on Sundays. The NFL Pub Zone on Pub Sports Radio, where we play-by-play the red zone for you of all the morning games. Because who wants to listen to Pee Wee Herman? Not I, said the brown cow. So until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. He's Spin Doc Sports. Let them know where they can find you and what you got going on, my guy.
Yeah, so you can find me at Spin Doc Sports. And on YouTube, and on Twitter, Sunday Morning Quarterbacks. That's our NFL show. We record it on Saturdays, go and airs live on Sundays. Picks, props, plays, fantasy, all that stuff. Fantasy is starting to get a little tricky now with all the injuries. So I have a whole injury breakdown and who to take instead. DFS plays, we got it all covered for you. So that airs 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. So Sunday Morning Quarterbacks.
Yeah, Sunday morning. Not Saturday, where I want to watch freaking Colorado tomorrow. I actually can't wait.
Yep.
I want to watch that game. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there. Use that promo code PUBSPORTS. And on your first deposit, they're going to match deposit you up to $100, minimum of $25. This show is produced by Big Show Picks, and it's brought to you by the letters BBW. Until next time, stay hot, fellas. Let's stay hot. Yo. Yoga Flame.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Puff Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Puff Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PuffSportsRadio.com.